Hi, welcome to episode 3, continuation of the devlog for this game about telling jokes. I realized at the end of the last video that I had made a pretty big mistake, or quite a bug, where my code here would let me, what would happen is that if a player entered the queue, even in the middle of a round, they would still, like, there would be a bug here, like as soon as the player enters the queue, that would stop the race, and then we would enter this part of the code, even if the timer is not finished. So we need to do things a little differently. Basically, I think what needs to happen is that in case the queue, in case we don't have enough players in the queue, then we should wait until a new player enters the queue. And this, I think, should be, so I don't think we need a race. It should be at the end, probably. Well, actually, so if I have this code here, at the beginning of the game, we're going to enter this queue. We're going to check if we have at least 2 people in queue, which we don't in the beginning of the game. So we're going to wait until someone enters the queue. So one person enters the queue. We go back here, we check, do we have 2 people in the queue? We still don't. So we wait until someone else enters the queue. Then do we have at least 2 people? Yes, we do. So we go through this, and then we wait until the very end of the whole event before we loop again. And if we have at least 2 people, then we can go at it again. If not, we're going to wait until someone new enters the queue. So I'm more confident in this code. And as we said last time, we need to test it with 2 players. So I'm going to join the session with my laptop. Okay, so I have pushed reverse changes. That should be enough. And now we can start the game. And we'll see what happens. So maybe I'm gonna enter the queue here, queue up. Oh, and it put me straight. Okay, so that's not good. Oh, you know what? I think it's because I still have an event being bound, probably. For the other chair, maybe. Yes, okay. So we need to undo this code. We don't need this anymore. This was using the directive and binding, but now we're doing all inverse. And yeah, I don't want to reject either. Okay. So I'm gonna, hopefully that will be enough. Start game. Okay, so now we have 2 players. I'm gonna play with the other one. Queue up. Okay. Supposedly it works. Let's queue up with the second one. Okay, that didn't work. Great. Okay. So we need to debug. Awesome. Well, one thing is, just in case I'm going to push changes, I should also verify the settings on my devices. Seem correct. Everything is set. It's really common that I forget to apply to link the devices correctly. So let's rebuild the verse code, and this time I'm gonna push changes like completely, which I hate doing because it takes a lot of time. So while it's doing this, maybe it will work, maybe it will help, maybe not. So let's add some debug. So one thing I like to do, I like to create my own function. So basically I'm creating a new function called print debug. And what it does is that it prints, I like to print, so we're in the queue manager, so I'm going to print in Queue Manager. Oops. And then I'm gonna insert the content of the string that I called with the function, and add a duration of, let's say, 10 seconds, and also add a color. And these are optional parameters to the print function. Name colors dot, I don't know, green maybe. In order to use colors, we need to say using /first.org/colors. Okay. And if I press name colors and press F12, I will see the list of all the colors. I don't want something blue because the sky is blue. Fuchsia, forest green, these are good ones. So for here, for the queue manager, I'm going to use green. I'm going to copy paste this function into the voting device as well. And here, I also need to add the color. Again, lots of typing manually, but it's good for memory. Remember what we're doing. And that's fuchsia. Is that how you spell it? Nope. OCH. That's a weird name. This, okay. And the reason I put it with a block is like I can just go here and then disable all my prints in my file without breaking the function. So now that this is set up, I'm gonna probably do too much on begin, so this will let me know that the on begin of the queue manager happens. Now we know that someone tried to enter the queue. So then we're looping. Print debug. Let's loop. If queue is more than 2, queue has more than 2 players, else debug queue has less than 2. Just to get a sense, basically this will give me messages printed to the screen, and it will help me figure out where it stops printing. I'm pretty sure the on begin will happen, but just in case. Loop debug looping. Oh, and here is not queue manager, we're in voting device. Let's call it voting. Here, print debug. Actually, I'm not testing on vote A. Here, print debug on vote B. I'm not concerned yet with voting, actually. But I'm concerned about this queue. So here we'll check if we have agents from the queue. Then print debug found agent A and B. Maybe I'll put an else here. Print debug failed to get agent A and B. Okay. So yeah, the idea here is, I want to make sure that we get seated. Okay. First, let's see what happens now that we pushed changes. I press Q up, and now on my other computer, I'm going to do the same, and nothing's happening. Which means we need to compile endgame and then push verse changes, because I just changed some code here but nothing else, so push verse changes will be enough. We should see on begin appear twice when we start the game. Okay, on begin from queue manager and voting. Okay, voting also gets the loop. Let's see queue up. Okay, on queue pressed. So the queue is pressed. On queue pressed. Okay. So the queue is pressed, but maybe we never listen to the queue actually. Yep, I guess that's it. So spawn, beginner's mistake here, listen to queue. Okay. And I don't have to do a spawn because if I don't do spawn, it means like the on begin will print the thing, which we know it's gonna print, so I can remove this. I know it's gonna print it here as well. Same as the loop. We tested that. So I could do listen to queue, but it means that I could not have anything else after listen to queue in the on begin function, because listen to queue will never end, it will loop forever. But for now, since we have nothing else, that's okay. So push first changes. So now things should change. Start game. Debugging live. Okay. Oh, edit mode. Yeah, something crashed. Okay, I messed something up. Let me pause the video and restart Fortnite then. Okay, so it just grew maybe 10 minutes older, if not more. But the game is back and running. So, start game. And now let's look at our debug messages. Okay, so let's loop and the queue has less than 2. Okay, so when I press queue up, it should loop again and tell me that queue still has less than 2. Let's loop, queue has less than 2. Okay, so now let's go with my other player. Ooh, now we are sitting in a chair, so we can tell a joke, and we have 15 minutes to tell a joke. And after, then there should be a voting time. And after that, we ejected. People have 10 seconds to vote. So far, so good. Oh, I did this to myself. And then we get teleported. Okay, so tiny little bug that I'm gonna fix right away is that we had a timer. This timer was a duplicate of the other one and had the same message. Yep. Intent is Eastern mission. Okay, so it kind of worked. And I got another player. I got my really old laptop into the game as well. And I noticed that the third player was not spawning yet. So let's change some options here. Where is that? Spawn. Join in progress. Just want to spawn. If a player can join during later in the game, that's totally fine. Max players, you know, I'm gonna put it to the maximum, 100. Why not? And while I'm here, what do I want to change? It's like the voice chat scope. Voice chat. I think there was something. Okay, so inside mode we have voice chat somewhere. Mission. Voice chat. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that voice chat was enabled. I'm surprised that there's only just one option. Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so everybody can speak to everybody. That's good. So now, I don't know if I need to push changes after changing island settings. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I can just do start game and have all my players. Oh, and I don't have a spawn pad, so my third player is actually spawning in the sky. We don't see it yet. I can show I'm doing remote desktop. Yeah, falling down. Okay, yeah, there it is. Cool. So let's again. I'm gonna send this character in. I'm gonna send my other character in. Oops. Okay, back. That's the annoying thing. Okay, now it's frozen. You put it to the side. Okay, queue up. Okay, so now we're queued up. What I want to do is I want to try to vote with the third player. But my remote desktop crashed. Okay, I'm gonna try. It's kind of a pain to use. So I'm gonna have this third player queue up for the next round. Okay, queued up. Gonna make my laptop queue up as well. Okay, so now they're both in. And then here I can vote for one or the other, right? Okay, on vote B, on vote A. Okay. I'm not seeing the timer somehow. Okay, so the timers don't seem to restart. Okay. So we probably need to call, let's see, timer device, reset. Okay, so I think after the timer succeeds, it's not reset, so we need to reset it as well. So, timer. We're waiting for this timer to be done. And then we reset it. Same for this one. And same for this one. Because if we reset them, then we can start them again, which is what we want. Okay. Now voting. So the buttons are pressed. If is voting enable true, I'm going to say else. Print debug. Voting is disabled. And I'm going to put that there as well. Okay. Yeah, so supposedly the player who was voted for should have got a point. I'm not seeing points here, but I'm not sure what these scores, what these numbers mean. So for that, we need to do it in the island settings. Should be here. First scoreboard would be score. Display scoreboard. Okay. Hopefully that does it. Okay. Save. I'm gonna also build verse and game. Oh, I'm gonna place a third player spawner because I don't want my third guy to spawn in the sky. And now let's press. Oh wait, I was supposed to press push first changes. End game, sorry. Okay, push first changes. Okay. Now, let me go to the remote first. Okay. It's gonna queue up. Except the game is not started. Duh. Oh, that's sad. My third player is starting from the sky again. Even though... okay. Yeah. I should have made push changes because I added a new device. So it's not in my game yet. Oh well. Okay, so I have my third player here. Thank you up. Okay, second player is gonna queue up as well. Now they're both telling their jokes. And while they're telling their jokes, I'm gonna vote for player A. Because it's more funny, of course. And vote A. Okay. If I press a second time. It's not promising. And I'm not seeing scores. Okay, well, you know what? I think I need to do push changes. I have 4 spawners. And since I can have 100 players, I'm gonna maybe have to have 100 spawners. We'll see about that, if that's a good idea or not. Building verse again, just in case. Okay. And we have our score manager. And the vote is connected to the score manager. Okay, so I might want to know. So if score manager is true, we're going to say then print debug this agent is already in the player map and is not allowed to vote again. And yeah, that feels, I'm not happy about this, how I am duplicating code like this on 2 different functions. That's pretty bad. Okay, so when we vote for player A, we check are we allowed to vote, and wait, I never set the voting enabled to false. That's an issue. So if my voter map is already filled with that player, then print and also set. Oh wait, no. Is voting enabled is for whether everybody is allowed to vote or not. That's different. Okay. Sorry about that. Where do I change this though? Because here the queue manager. Okay. So I should set whether we're allowed. Basically, when we start the joke telling, we should be allowed to vote. And then we end that at the end. Okay. So let's see. So this timer device, do they have an event when it starts? Failure, start urgency. Okay, and that's it. The other ones are just functions, not events. Okay. The queue manager, do we have an event? Player entered queue event. Let's make another event. Like joke started event. Okay. So when we're starting the timer for the joke, we can say joke started event signal. So we're going to signal that the players are starting to tell their jokes. And the voting device will wait for that. Joke started event await. So voting enabled should be false by default. When the joke started event is signaled, then we can set is voting enabled to true. Then we wait for timer voting success event wait. So as soon as the players are allowed to start telling jokes, which is in the beginning of the first timer, we enable voting. And when the timer for voting is over, then we disable voting. Okay. Then we wait for the intermission, then we just wipe the map, and then we go again. Okay. So right now, if anyone votes for anybody, voting gets disabled. But I might want to let players vote for both if they really like both jokes. So maybe I need to make two voter map A and voter map B. And A would be this one. Oh wait, what am I doing here? Okay, I said motor. Okay, and B as well. Okay, so each round basically we're gonna wipe both maps, and if they vote for A, we keep track of who has voted for A, so they cannot vote for A more than once. And here we do that for B. I hope this works. Okay. Let's see. So start the game. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay, my remote desktop is not working very well, so I'm gonna have to make sure. Queue up. Okay, this one is queued up. Gonna have the other one queue up. Okay, and now I can go vote for one of them. I'll vote A. Oh, there's a score here. Okay, and it would be. Okay, they both have a point now. That's promising. Now it says, okay, yeah, not allowed to vote again. Not allowed to vote again. Interesting. It keeps telling me, okay, voting is disabled. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. So the points are, they have 2 and 2 each. So now, let's try to go back with this variable view. Okay, queue up. I make the other one queue up. Granted, I don't really know which is which. Okay. So number 3 is on the right. I'm gonna vote for him. Rocky 3 has 3 points now. Okay, that's working. Cool. Okay. And now if I vote for the other one, he also has 3 points. not allowed to vote for him a second time, and now vote is disabled. Seems to work. Cool. So I guess now, let's see, 10 seconds for people to vote. Yep, we have that. Next 2 players in queue go in, so oh, I know. To test this, I should go get in queue after the other ones are in queue. So again, let's try to move around with this. It's gonna be difficult. Okay, no, it's not so bad. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay, remote desktop to control Fortnite. It's not so great. Okay, queue up. I'm gonna queue up this player now. Okay, and then I'm gonna queue up here. Okay, those have 3 points. Now one has 4 points. I cannot vote for him again. That's good. Because this time this guy told a better joke, the other one did not. So okay, and I'm already queued up, so if I have just one more player queue up, I should go in with them. I'm gonna try to get the remote guy to do it again. Okay, nice. Now we're both in, and the other player can give me a vote. Yep, I have a point now. That's working. Cool. So my game looks functional. Yeah. Will it take like just 2 hours or something? Okay. So not totally sure this is working because I only have these 3 players. I could fire my tablet, maybe I'd join with one more. Maybe I should. We had the short intermission. Cool. So my prototype seems to be working. Now, let's see. So this was the list of tasks for the queue manager. Okay, vote majority text when player are seated. Yes, we get the event that tells us that's here, that the joke has started. So that's done. Okay, each of them has a button that people can press to give them a point. That seems to be working. So we can vote only once per player, per joker, if you will. I would have to test that if we have 2 players, or like let's say 5 people who are voting, to make sure that each of them can vote, because right now I only had 1 voter. But we'll have to test, but I think it's working. Track was voted in the joke session. I'm doing that with the map, voter map A or voter map B. At the end of the voting period, tracking of who has voted is wiped out. That's what I'm doing by resetting the maps. Seems to be working, as it should. And each vote adds 1 point to the player, and I could confirm that with my scores here. So that seems to be working. And so, even though this board is I called it concept originally because it had the brainstorming, I should call it prototype programming, or maybe I did the programming basically. So the core of the game is done. I'm gonna get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be good. Share area that checks queue, handle time. That's a feature, it's not a task. That's the way I meant it, so I'm gonna archive that. This is a feature too, but I left the tasks inside as checklists, so I could have converted them to card. I did not. Oh well. So yeah, so now I might just want to build the look of the game, if you will. I use that for testing, but everything seems to work fine, so I'm gonna delete it. Oh, right. So the question here, yeah, if you end the game and start it again, do I keep my scores? So let's try that. End game. And then start the game again. Where is the third player? Okay, yeah, there. And the score is still here, so seems to be working. Awesome. Now I might want. So basically, well done. Maybe I should stop this video here because we have the prototype working. And so what I'll do next will be to kind of build the level, make it look a little better, a little more interesting. Guess maybe I just do this one next step where I want a player reference to show kind of who currently in the level here has the best score and who is the best player, who is the best joker here. Show hologram, okay. Player details, sure, that should give player's name and the score, that sounds perfect. Idle, or maybe, I don't know, flex, why not? I'm gonna make it big. I don't know how big I can make it. For instance, start to track that the score. Track game. Current one, I don't know, it should work. Okay, that should update the player each time a score happens. Okay, let's see what happens. I would say this is a feature of the game, and the rest will be more like art. So we'll have pure art, you know, in terms of like making the level look nice, and then we'll have level design to make the level more fun, like, or more immersive. Maybe sounds, UI, yeah, maybe some, I don't know, vehicle spawners or little things that people can play with when they're just running around, because I think people like that. So yeah, and I don't know, maybe I went fast. Again, I'm not a streamer, so not a video editor either. So don't hesitate if you are following these videos, and if some of the stuff you are like, what the heck did he do here? You don't understand something I did, please don't hesitate, leave a comment. And if I get multiple requests for the same thing, I definitely try to make a video to address that request. If I only have one request for a specific thing, I might still do it, depending on how much time I have, really. But yeah, the idea is to make game development, make the whole process a little clearer. And I'm aware that this is my first devlog that I publish on YouTube. So it's not necessarily polished or anything. So yeah, maybe later I'll make another game where I'll spend more time. I'm also trying to go fast here. I don't want you to get bored. And also I want to show like how quickly you can make a game in Fortnite. Okay, it almost works. Oh, because the game is not started. Start game. Huh. Okay, so that's not quite right. Even though it would still have a score, let me try to queue up some players and have them get a vote. Oops, not the other one. Wrong button. Okay. And then go vote for one of them. Actually, I should vote for this one maybe. Yeah. Okay, so it's not showing up on this player reference. Not sure why. Why is that? Maybe because could it be just this? I'm not that experienced with this device. I wonder if I need to register the player, sorry. It's possible. Let's see, activate the device. I don't know. Let's try again quickly. Nope, still nothing. So now let's try to register player. Let me do it in verse. So player reference device. Let's do it in the voting device because it makes sense, I think, because it's about reflecting the number of votes that someone got. Player reference. So it's called player reference device, I believe. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Okay. And you know what? Let's look at the functions to understand better. Let's see, signal. Okay, that's an event. Yeah, right. Sorry. Okay, end the round. That's not what I want. Okay. So we probably want all the players to be tracked. Which is happening here, I believe. Subscribe. Actually, no. Okay, we're not really tracking all the players. Okay, so let's do that here. So I'm gonna. Okay, so get play space. Player enters events. So this event will be fired each time a new player arrives. One player joins. One player enters. Okay, I misspelled it, I guess. Play space. Let's see. Player added event. Okay. Player added events, and then for consistency, I'm gonna make a function called onPlayerAdded. So what I want to do is like each time a player is added to the play space, I want to do something about it, and I also want to catch all the players that are already in the game when we start. So for player space get players, so the get players functions that is part of get play space will return an array of all the players. So we iterate through each players in the game, and we will do onPlayerAdded of calling with player. So now let's write this function, which does not exist yet. Added in player. So this event called onPlayerAdded is triggered and carries the reference to the player with it. So when a player is added, we want to add it to register it. Player reference register in player. Should work. So I need to compile, and then I need to connect the player reference here. And I'm gonna have to push changes here, I believe. So that should register all the players with this player reference device. And supposedly it will only show the one with the highest score. I hope I'm correct with this. When stat is higher. Yeah, it probably should be that when stat is higher. Let's see what happens though. I'm afraid that if a third player or if a player joins the game when we already started, people already have scores, and then a new player joins the game, even though he has 0 score, he might be added, he might be registered right there, and maybe replace. That's gonna be interesting to see actually. To test this, I would have to join with a player who does not have the top score. I believe so. So yeah, I did push changes, so it's gonna take a while. It might reset our scores, I'm not sure, we'll see. Although I'm in the same edit session, so since I'm in the same session, it might actually keep the score. There might be persistence between games that are within the same session. Something I'm learning too. Okay, so yeah, let's just check this. And afterwards, we'll start playing with the level itself, make it more fun. And I might be thinking like, oh, should add this programming feature or that programming feature. In which case, I will just add it to my Trello board. Okay, that's a little better. It's not showing the score though. It's showing White 2, who has the top score. So let's see, what may have happened is that as soon as they are registered, okay, I'm gonna vote for, let's see, this guy, no, this one. Okay, so now he has 5 points. Yeah. So it's not quite right. Let's see, let's update the player only if stat is higher. That's one thing. And I suspect I need to re-register each time the points become higher. So anytime someone gets voted, then they should be registered. And since I said if stat is higher, it should update the player here only if their score is higher. That's my theory. Player reference, register. Is it correct to do this? Yes. Then player reference, register. Okay. What if I'm forgetting something here? All right. In the beginning of the game, it was showing the correct player, but it was not showing the score. I'm wondering why. And I wonder if it's because the save point device I wonder if it's loading the data but not right away. So I wonder if I should maybe, let's do a small delay, let's leave like half a second. and see if it gives time for the save point to load the data it needs to load. Do I have to push changes? I hope not. I should not, because I think I only did changes in verse. Let's confirm. Okay. So let's move this player in this awkward way. Oh, I'm not in the game, damn it. Okay. So this one is queued. Yeah, the score is not showing though. Let's see what happens when. Okay, I'm gonna vote for this one. Vote for this one. Oh, okay. That's not good. So basically, each time I vote for one of them, each time I call register, it just puts the player there. So basically, it seems like the player reference does not really care about the stats. Just in case, I'm gonna push changes. And I'm using the register function, and I don't think I should use something else, because it sounded like the activate function would end the run, which I don't want to do. Kind of surprised it does that. So I guess probably what I need to do is check the score of a player and then decide if I want to add them or not. It's really weird, this. Like, when do we update? Is there an update function? There's no update function. Yeah, this is weird. Still updating, it takes forever. So right now I'm calling update each time we give a point. Let's see why that's in voting. When I vote for agent A, when I give a point to agent A, right away I register agent A, the player reference. And I might only want to do that to the player who has the highest score. Yeah, so I assume this is not gonna work. I'm wondering if it's gonna work in the beginning. Nope. Okay. So I was not able to load the data, and I'm pretty sure that whoever scores, whoops, let's see. Okay, queue up. This one, queue up. Okay. Now wait for this guy who has 6 points now, 7 points now, but the score is not showing. Oh, why? That's strange. because they seem to have a score, like as I can see here. And even though I'm asking to keep track of the score, tracked stats changed. I wonder. Okay, maybe I should connect to this device and just print something, just to understand what's happening here. So player reference. It was called tracked stat changed event. Subscribe on stat changed. Stat changed. I'm not sure what the signature of that is. Okay. Subscribe. Okay. So what does it say? Expect type agent. Okay, as usual in agent. Okay. So print debug stat changed. Okay. So with my new code, we should have a message each time. Basically, each time the score changes, in theory, at least. Slope, okay, let's go. Here, okay. Put A. Okay, so that doesn't seem to work, and I'm not sure why. Okay, so I think I'll stop the video here. Maybe I'll do some research to figure out why this is not working, and I'll make the next video when I know, and also when I start the level design. So thank you for watching, and see you later.